Hello, everyone, and welcome to our episode 2 of SWOT analysis series, where we are trying to analyze some teams in depth. So, today we are joined by Sunny and Deep. So, all together, we'll try to analyze the squad for 2021 of DC. So, firstly, welcome both of you. Happy to have you here. Secondly, I'll first show our audiences the squad of DC for this time around. So Rishabh Pant is the new captain for DC. So this is the squad which we have. Um, Shreyas Iyer, Ajinkya Rahane, Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan, Shimran Hetmyer, Steve Smith, Amit Mishra, and all these players. The new addings are obviously Sam Billings, uh, someone like Tom Curran, and Umesh Yadav, and all these players. So first of all, coming to you, Sunny, I'm sure you might have seen this squad a couple of times. So as compared to last season, what do you think? Have you got the balance which you were looking for earlier?
Well, first of all, thank you, Saksham, for inviting me on your show. And secondly, I'm pretty happy with the squad, but only one thing which worry me the most is how they're gonna fit Shimran Hetmyer in the mix because they have retained him. They bought him last year at around 7.5 cr, and he hasn't lived up to the occasion, up to the mark, up to his worth. So I think that's going to be a small issue which we need to fix in. Otherwise, I feel we got the balance we require. We got the experience which was missing last year because we all saw the inexperience players, losing their calmness in the knockout stages, not able to perform that much. They were, having too much of pressure on them. So I think having someone like Steve Smith into the team, and we know that Ashwin has been doing good, Stoinis has been doing good, and all the Indian players have performed really well in the England series also. So I think this year it's going to be something different from last year, and I think we are all set up for the first IPL trophy this year.
Yeah. All the DC fans, I'm sure, would be hoping for the same. So Deep, looking at this squad, from last year, what was happening with them is, they were not able to get a good start. Because I remember 0 for 3, 0 for 2. I know these were the score lines in their first 2 to 3 overs, especially in the knockout game. Not in the knockout, I think in the final. It was Marcus Stoinis who went for a golden duck. So, did you think adding someone like Steve Smith, they have really got the balance because Steve Smith is someone who is a touch and go player. He doesn't hit the boundaries startingly. So he can someone, he's someone who can rotate the strike well. So do you think they have actually covered that gray area which they had before?
I think if you talk about the auction strategy, then I didn't find that much significance of acquiring Steve Smith. But now, if you remove Shreyas Iyer from the squad because he won't be available because of his surgery, now Steve Smith's role becomes very crucial in this franchise because what they have, if you see at the top, you have Prithvi Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan. Both of them can be very explosive on their day, but yes, they had that kind of starts last season where Shreyas Iyer's role was very important for them, so that the batsmen coming after Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant and Marcus Stoinis and Shimran Hetmyer last season, they could go bang bang from ball one. But this season, who will play Shreyas Iyer's role, that crucial anchor role in this DC's lineup? So Steve Smith's acquisition becomes very important for DC in this particular season.
Yeah, because what I think is Yeah, in fact, with Steve Smith, they can try, in some of the matches, they can play Ajinkya Rahane also, because Rishabh Pant is obviously high on confidence, but still, it's a game where you need to be mature enough when wickets have been fallen. Although Rishabh Pant has come down really, really well in the last months. So let's hope it's a maiden title for them. So, Sunny, if you look at the squad, we'll start with the strengths, obviously. What do you look as the strength of your team? Obviously, the as far as the pace department is concerned, you have pretty good pace bowlers as well.
Yeah, I'm really happy with with the recruitment of Umesh Yadav, because he has been a prominent key player as far as new bowler is concerned. He has done really well for RCB in previous years with new ball. So I think we need to keep that thing in mind and try to finish his first 4 overs, in the power play itself. So not in the power play, but in the first 8 overs, we should try to finish off his 4 overs, because at the death he's expensive. So I think someone like Enric Nokia and Kagiso Rabada would be sitting happily there and would be having laugh together, because last time we missed an experienced Indian pacer because Ishant Sharma was injured. Avesh Khan was not, he hasn't got that much of experience. So I think including Umesh Yadav into the playing 11 would actually distribute the workload among all the three main pacers, and it'll ease out the pressure on them also, because last year Kagiso Rabada did really well at the first half of the tournament, but in the second half he looked a bit tired. So I think a lot of workload was dependent on him, and also on Enric Nokia. So I think that will ease out this year, and probably. But one thing I still feel that it's going to be a headache to choose between Chris Wokes or Enric Nokia, or maybe Rabada or Chris Wokes. So we need to think about it. We need to get the combination right, so that we could do well from the game one itself.
Yes, so Sunny, since you mentioned about the inclusion of Umesh Yadav being a really big positive for DC, so do you think it will be, a choose line between Ishant Sharma and Umesh Yadav, because Ishant Sharma always starts with the new ball for DC, and it's been a pattern until last year because he was not available. So, will you play Umesh Yadav, or will go with the experience of Ishant Sharma? Because what he has is a bonus of height also, and he does get that outswinger as well, which he got out. He I remember in the first match between India and England, he got the first wicket with the same outswinger. So do you think you'll play Ishant or Umesh?
I think what personally I feel, we should be playing Umesh Yadav in the first half, and then give it to Ishant if he doesn't do well in that first half. Because what will happen, that Umesh Yadav got the 7 games. If let's say he got around 10 to 12 wickets in those 7 games, then it's a big plus for us, because we need someone with that raw. He still has that raw pace which is needed. He's got the experience, but you need that raw pace at a good length to get batsmen out. Ishant Sharma has got a good height. He can get that awkward bounce, but you need to have someone who can bowl quick, bowl at proper line and length with the new ball. And we've seen him how effective he has been with the new ball, in the white ball format also, and also in the test format. So I think for me, Umesh Yadav going to be the first pick for the first half. Let's see him for, let's say, not 7, for 5 matches. Then if he doesn't perform well, then we'll go back to Ishant.
I think if you ask me personally, Ricky Ponting would definitely play Ishant Sharma, because he cannot get Ishant Sharma, out of his mind. That spell which he bowled and got Ricky Ponting out on an outswinger. So I think he'll get Ishant to bowl. Well, let's see what happens. So Deep, coming to you, I know Anrik Nokia, another bowler. You can see the speeds. These are the top five fastest bowls, bowled in the IPL 2020. The speeds are right up there, and they are going to play their first 2 or 3 matches in Mumbai. So that is a pitch which suits the fast bowlers, I think. So do you think he's gonna be the match winner for them this year as well?
So there's a question on the availability of Enrique Nokia in the first couple of games. So as we all know that South Africa is playing a series against Pakistan. So ODI series. So both Rabada and Nokia are playing in that series. So they have to start with Chris Stokes, and then they have to probably play Tom Curran in those games. Or if they don't want to play Tom Curran, then we'll probably see both Ishant and Umesh in the first few games where we don't have Kagiso Rabada and Enrique Nokia available. But yes, on those Mumbai pitches, they have to think whether they need that express pace of Enrique Nokia or not. Because this express pace on those wickets can be a double-edged sword. On UAE pitches, yes, those express pace was very, very helpful. But when you play on Mumbai tracks, the ball usually comes on bat very well. So if Nokia doesn't hit right lengths, then he can go for plenty. And that's where they have to make a trade-off between Chris Wokes and Enrique Nokia, because Rabada will any day picks himself. So depending on the conditions, they have to select Wokes over Nokia in Mumbai games.
Yeah, I mean that is one of the points which the franchise would have in mind. The South Africa series, which you mentioned. So let's hope it goes well for DC this time around. So Sunny, coming back to you, if you look at the squad, they have got 2 to 3 spinners, in which you have Amit Mishra, who is often called Mimishi Bhai, and you have Ashwin, and then you have someone like Praveen Dubey and all these players. But one concern which I see in the squad is even the last time around when Amit Mishra got injured, Ashwin got injured, even Praveen Dubey wasn't able to, he was very expensive in his first game, I guess. So do you think in that department, DC is a bit sloppy?
Well, yes, they are a bit, on the back foot as far as our spin department is concerned, especially, a leg spin department is concerned, because Praveen Dubey, he just got to play, I think, towards the end of the tournament. So it makes it difficult for a youngster to adapt so quickly in the knockout stages, towards the business end of the tournament, because there's a lot of pressure on you to perform well and win the game for the team, and try to get that trophy. So I think it was that kind of pressure on him. And also Mishi Bhai's injury, it happened last year, but this time he's been working on his fitness. He's looking pretty fit, and I'm really hoping that he and Ravi Ashwin could do wonders for us, because we have games at Chennai, Kolkata, and Ahmedabad. So I think those pitches, if both Mishi and Ashwin could complement each other well, then I think it's going to be DC's game any day.
Yeah, I mean, I even saw that interview of Amit Mishra, and he looked really pumped up to be on the field, and everyone will be hoping for that. So, Deep, we all know that Shreyas Iyer has been ruled out of the IPL, and I think one of those things which DC is gonna miss is more of not in the captaincy, because we see we I personally feel Ricky Ponting is the main anchor, who controls each and everything. Even if it is after 6 overs, you'll see him coming after strategic timeout. He'll be giving his inputs. So how much is DC gonna miss Shreyas Iyer?
So Shreyas Iyer, the batsman, will be definitely missed. Shreyas Iyer, the captain, I don't think he will be missed.
Yeah.
So talking about Shreyas Iyer, the batsman, how DC is going to fill that void? Because if you see the lineup, the openers pick themselves, Shaw and Dhawan. Then they have to see whether Rishabh Pant and Stoinis are your 4 and 5, or whether they are your 5 and 6. So if they are your 4 and 5, then you have only one spot for Rahane or Smith. If Smith plays, then the question remains, who is your number 6? Do you have an Indian number 6? So for that, they have to go with Lalit Yadav, because they don't have any Indian number 6 who can fit in this 11. Assuming Akshar Patel plays at number 7.
Yeah.
But if your Rishabh Pant and Stoinis are your 5 and 6 finishers, then there are two spots there at 3 and 4. But then there is again question in front of DC that can they fit Rahane and Smith in the same 11? Because Rajasthan faced a similar selection issue. So that's why they released Rahane in one season and Smith in another season, because Rahane and Smith both cannot play in the same 11. They are similar kind of players. So in that case, what option they have? They have to play Vishnu Vinod. So Rahane's void, who is going to fill Rahane's void? Either Vishnu Vinod or Lalit Yadav. Both of them had a great domestic season, but they are still untested in IPL circuit. So that's going to be a major concern for DC.
Yes, and I think what happens in the last season as well, Shreyas Iyer was really a mature player. Even in the finals, I think he and Rishabh Pant had a good partnership, which got them to a good total, good defending total. So let's hope Steve Smith does some good to the TC as well. So coming to the opportunities, we talked about strengths and weakness as well. The opportunities. Sunny, what do you think? It's a big opportunity for Rahane as well as for someone like Prithvi Shaw, who actually was dropped from the side, and he has a blast of a season in Vijay Hazare. So, how much of this opportunity can be for Prithvi Shaw? We know that IPL has, BCCI has approved, ICC has approved around 22 or 24 players for T20 tournament. So, do you think he can be knocking the door by the end of the IPL?
Well, personally, I don't think so because if you look at Team India, they've got pretty settled unit. They've got, I think they've mostly sorted out who's going to be their, 11 players, main 11 players. They've already sorted out. It's just how they going to perform in the IPL. If they're doing well in the IPL, then it's already there. But I don't think Prithvi Shaw or either Ajinkya Rahane making it to the Indian T20 squad for the T20 World Cup because it's going to be a toss up between Surya Kumar Yadav and Shreyas Iyer when Shreyas Iyer comes back to the fitness.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a toss up between the two, and I feel it's going to be the most important season for Prithvi Shaw because the way he failed last year, it was a season for him he wants to forget. But this year he looked really good in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. But when it comes to the IPL, it's completely different. You've got a lot of international players playing with you. They've sorted out your techniques. They've got the analysts. They've got the technicians who's watching the videos of how to get a player out. So I think that's where Prithvi Shaw needs to step up and do well, and get the right mindset that he has done really well in the domestic circuit. So it's up to him to live up to that occasion, do well in the absence of his former captain Shreyas Iyer. So I think it's going to be the most important IPL season for Prithvi Shaw because next year what happens, everyone goes into the auction. So then it becomes really important for those players who did really well in this year to get picked up for the next year.
Yeah. You mentioned about that Rahane or Prithvi Shaw cannot be knocking the door of IC tournament. But Deep, do you think even the white ball tournament, white ball format, will there be, because I have seen a lot of interviews where Ajinkya Rahane has mentioned that he still has in it, and he wants to play the white ball tournament. So do you think somewhere in their minds they would want to play the white ball again, and this IPL could be one of those things which they would be wanting to look at?
Yes, when we talk about Prithvi Shaw, the answer is yes. But when we talk about Ajinkya Rahane, the answer is no. Because from an Indian team's perspective, there are a lot of youngsters who are performing really well in the domestic season. So we have already seen enough of Rahane in the white ball cricket. We know what skill set Rahane brings. So instead of giving chance to Ajinkya Rahane, whom we might know whether he'll be available for the next ODI World Cup, because for T20 World Cup, I don't see him anywhere near the BCCI's plans. So if when Rahane is not, so there are very slight percentages of Rahane being able to make into the ODI squad for the 2023 World Cup. So So there is chance for Prithvi Shaw. Yes, Prithvi Shaw and Devdutt Padikkal. So they can be the backups. Yes, they have the chance, but for Rahane, the answer is no.
Yes, yes. And also one of the players, I think, Sunny Ravichandran Ashwin, with spinners not being able to take so many wickets lately. We have seen Chahal go for plenty, Rahul Chahar as well go for plenty. Then Kunal Pandya, he was hit down for too many runs in the two ODIs. So, do you think Ravi Chandra Ashwin, as far as he's concerned, this IPL can be a his comeback to the white ball tournament or white ball format?
Yes, completely. I agree with you on this note that this IPL is going to be a huge one for players like Prithvi Shaw and also Ravi Ashwin, considering the kind of form he is in, the kind of impact he has made over Indian cricket for so long. This year he has been phenomenal in red ball cricket, and I think he deserves it one more chance in white ball cricket because he has done really well. The only thing which he lacked earlier was the experience now and also the fitness. And this year he's looking completely different, of completely opposite what he used to be earlier. Earlier he used to be a little bit chubby and like that. Now he's completely lean and fit. So I think, and also it has also added up to the confidence of his performances, because if you are you know physically fit and mentally fit, then it adds up to your confidence and you give certain good performances in the matches. So I think this year IPL going to play a huge role in Ashwin's inclusion in the T20 World Cup squad, and I think he will make it.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the YouTube channel of Ashwin, he is really, really pumped up to be on the field. And with such a cricketing mind that he has, I really hope as a fan that he comes back. Coming to the last segment, which is threats of DC. Lately they have done something which actually really made some fans happy, but it also made some amazed about the confidence that they showed in someone like Rishabh Pant to do the captaincy. So, as a fan, Deep, or as a neutral fan of DC, do you think that they made a right choice by making Rishabh Pant the captain, because they had too many names around them? They had someone like Prithvi Shaw, who actually led the Indian team to under 19 World Cup and won that tournament. They had Ajinkya Rahane, they had Steve Smith, then there were talks about Ashwin also coming into the picture. So, do you think they made the right choice?
Right, absolutely. I agree with the decision that the franchise has made. The reason being, when you look at this particular squad, so which Indian batsman is 100% fit in India's T20 squad? So the answer is Rishabh Pant, because Shikhar Dhawan's position is also uncertain. Ajikya Rahane is nowhere near the T20 setup of Indian team. So Rishabh Pant is the only one who will play for India in the World Cup, and he brings that brand value which DC is looking for. And Rishabh Pant is going to play 14 matches. That's a certainty, because they don't have anyone of that caliber or that Indian wicketkeeper batsman in the squad. But on the other hand, when we talk about the other options that they have, Ashwin 14 games. So there is a kind of uncertainty, because they might go with Amit Mishra Akshar Patel combination in some games where they need that leg spinner.
Yeah.
And talking about Ajiki Rahane, so there is a toss up between Ajiki Rahane and Steve Smith. So we don't know. So they wanted that kind of flexibility, so that their captain should be someone who will play 14 games for sure, and he brings that brand value, that brand image. So Rishabh Pant is the right choice in every parameter.
Yeah, and as a captain, Sunny, it's really important to say no to a lot of things, because if you see, you have seniors around you. If someone like Ashwin who said that I'll be going to bowl the next over, or example, there's someone like Shikhar Dhawan who says I'll be standing on the slip, I won't go to the mid on. So there are a lot of things that you have to say no to. So do you think Rishabh Pant will be able to do that? Although the scheme of the things will be managed by Ricky Ponting, but still it's a huge task. because Rishabh Pant has to prove, how he played recently. So he has to prove in IPL as well, because in the last season he wasn't able to bat as what he used to do in the last seasons. So do you think this will add up to some sort of pressure on him? So how do you see this, all these things going on?
Well, personally, I don't think it's going to add up an extra pressure on him because, he has done captaincy at the domestic level and he led his team to the final. They were the runner ups, and
Yeah,
he actually was the highest run scorer in that season for his respective team, if I'm not wrong. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's just like, when it comes the responsibility, he tends to shine a bit more. So that's what Rishabh Pant is capable of. And as far as the seniors are concerned, seniors are there to help you out, but you got to be careful about the points which you made, that there are certain things which you should be knowing that you have that right to say no to those things. So I think it's going to be just that little bit of adjustment which he needs to make with the senior players. Otherwise, he's good to go as a captain. And I'm really excited for the first match because it's going to be the current Indian wicketkeeper as captain versus the former Indian wicketkeeper as captain. So, it's going to be a great battle to watch out for. Young Brigade versus the Darts Army. I'm sorry to say Darts Army, but that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want I want to add I want to add one thing here. So there is huge opportunity for Rishabh Pant, the wicket keeper, to grow as a captain, because we have seen that when Rishabh Pant has a knack of saying something to Virat Kohli whenever he has to take DRSs. So during that DRS, sometimes we see that Rishabh Pant is wrong, but sometimes we see that he is correct, but he doesn't show that kind of confidence in appealing. And then Virat Kohli has to go to his bowlers. But now Rishabh Pant is the captain, so he has to trust his gut whether there is a nick or not. So Rishabh Pant, the wicket keeper, is going to be very exciting to watch as a captain.
Yeah, and I think it all started with captains, players like MS, Virat, who were given the captaincy role and they groomed really well. Whether it is 2007 ICC T20, where MS was leading a really young side, and no one expected them to win, and but they came as heroes. So let's hope it happens for Rishabh as well. So Sunny, in the last part, I would like to ask your probable playing 11 in the first match which they're going to have. You have the squad here as well. So what do you think DC would start with your probable playing 11?
I think it's going to be Shikhar Dhawan, Prithvi Shaw, Steve Smith, uh, Rishabh Pant is obviously there as captain. Then it's going to be Marcus Stoinis, uh, Ravi Ashwin, Akshar Patel if he's fit, because he recently got positive. So I think it's going to be up to the fitness mark. So I think then it's going to be Chris Wokes, uh, Tom Curran, which eventually I don't like to see because he has been pretty expensive in the IPL. Then maybe a toss up between Umesh Yadav and Nishant Sharma and Amit Mishra. I think I've got the 11.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And your probable playing 11?
Uh, I'll start with the same 11. I guess same opening combination. Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan, then Steve Smith at number 3, Rishabh Pant at number 4, then Sam Billings at number 5, Stoinis at number 6, then Ashwin at number 7, Amit Mishra at number 8, and so probably I'll have Chris Wokes at number 8, Amit Mishra at number 9, then I'll have Ishant Sharma and Meriwala.
Okay, so you have omitted someone, Tom Curran. You have omitted Tom Curran, right?
Instead of Tom Curran, I'm going with an extra batsman, that's Sam Billings.
Yeah. So really happy. On that note, I would like to thank both of you for giving your time. Yes, Sunny, you had something.
Saksham, sorry to interrupt you. I just want to make a point here. The current setup of DC looks like what it was with MI in 2013. Ricky Ponting was the captain. They had Sachin Tendulkar there, Harbhajan Singh there. They had a pretty good experienced squad and then they gave the captaincy to a young player, who actually took up the responsibility pretty well, and he won the title. Not he actually, but the whole team won the title under his leadership. So it's that kind of similarity between MI and DC this year, because DC have got a pretty good experience. Players like Shikhar Dhawan, Steve Smith, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Amit Mishra has been doing pretty well in the IPL. So now it's going to be up to how Rishabh Pant handles this pressure and how he actually takes the whole team forward into the tournament.
Yes, and if you ask me personally, even I said this to Deep a few months before, that I think personally that DC is the team which is really near to that, the line, crossing line, which is called the IPL title. Because if you remember in 2019, they finished, I think, third, then they finished second, and now it is time for them to finish first. Because, and I think the one change which they had is they had the consistency to keep the same coaching, the same captain. Because in 2018, I remember when Gautam Gambhir, left the captaincy, Iyer was made the captain, but still they finished last in the table. But they stick to the same squad. But one thing which they changed is the name, and the same trend is being followed by Kings 11 as well. They have changed the name. So let's see how it goes for DC. All the best to DC, of course. Coming from Delhi, I also feel that they are really close to the title. So on that note, I would like to thank both of you for joining and giving your time. We'll meet in some other time doing SWOT analysis of some other IPL teams as well. In case you have not watched our first episode where we have tried to analyze Rajasthan Royal, the link is in the description. So thank you, and have a really, really nice day. Thank you all.
Thank you, Saksham, for inviting us on your show.
Thanks.